What up, Juggalos? Panic 17 here. It is my turn to do the daily spirits, and it is the question that I brought up, which is when did you become a Juggalo? And was it a self realization, or did somebody tell you? Did someone tell you were Juggalo and then you realized? For me, it's a little bit of both. Just real quick, I got into it around the Jackal Brothers era when Bizarre dropped. I remember going out to my friends, staying that night, and listening to the Bizarre albums first, and then the Jackal Brothers, and then all the other ones he had. And the reason why I remember it is because he had like a poster or something that said about Twisted coming out with the CD. Terror has a new name, and I always remembered it because I was like, dude, who the fuck is that? He's like, oh, that's Twisted. It's some band that ICP's coming out with. I think they're like rock or heavy metal or something. That's when we had no fucking clue. He didn't have internet. I wasn't into it yet. So, did my research, found out about everything. So this was about a year or two before Shangri-La had dropped. So I remember being bummed out because I thought I got into it too late. But fast forward a couple years, I'm in high school, and it was Halloween, and I painted it up like Twisted. And let me get the shirt that I was wearing real quick. Sorry. I was painted up like Twisted, and I was wearing this T-shirt. I still got it after all these years. So it's Halloween. I believe Shangri-La had already dropped by then. So went to go use the bathroom. I was in math class. It had to be after lunch, either after lunch or a little bit before. Well, I go in there, and there's this one dude. He was kind of a preppier dude, and he was known for knocking people out, that kind of dude, real tough guy. And I go into the bathroom, use the bathroom, and as I'm walking out, he's walking in. He's like, oh, what's up, man? Saw me all painted up like Twisted, and he's like, "You're a Juggalo, aren't you?" And I had never called myself a Juggalo at this point, but I didn't know what to say. He caught me off guard, so I was like, "Yeah, man, yeah, I am." So he's like, "You Juggalos, you don't feel pain, do you?" He's also, "If I hit you in your fucking face, you ain't gonna feel it, are you?" He caught me off guard, so I didn't know what to do, and I'm just like, took about 2 3 seconds to think real quick, and I'm like, you know what we do? Feel pain, but we just don't take it like a little bitch. And just real quick, I thought, am I gonna fight here, or what's gonna go on? So I decided to say fuck it. I don't give a fuck what he thinks. I'm gonna walk out and I'm gonna go back to class. So I left, went back in class, sat there and thought about it. I was like, man, I almost got in a fight just because I'm a juggalo. I was like, wow. So whatever, I thought about it. Weeks gone. So weeks pass. Next school year, I think I'm in 11th grade at this point. Um, Another kid. This dude knew how to box. I didn't know. He knew how to fight. So talking shit, because I'm a juggalo, wicked clown, little bullshit that you want to talk shit. So I had him for 2 classes, 2 or 3, and he would always talk shit. And I was always pretty high, so I didn't give a fuck. I'd let it go over. But one day he overdid it, and I dropped my shit. I was like, you know what? Let's do this then. You have that much of a problem fucking with me being a juggalo? Let's do this shit. So I got like maybe one hit off of him, and then he caught me in the nose, my glasses, and blood went everywhere. Um, my friend told me I dropped, got up real quick, and then kept fighting for about 10 seconds, and that was it. But there was blood all over my face, and I just remember being like tripping out on the blood, shades of wrestling and Triple H bleeding all over the place. That's all I could think about is wrestling. So days go on, whatever. He tells me, oh, you know what, man? There's a lot of people scared of me, and I got respect for you because you stood up to me. No one's really stood up to me, and I was like, whatever. I don't want to hear that shit. Well, Halloween comes around, and I'm chilling with all my friends, and I'm painting up like ABK. Well, we're out in front of a store, and then all of a sudden this car, rushes up, stops, and then pop, 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 shoots paintballs, and I get caught in the neck. And I was like, and they said, fuck juggalos, and took off. We're like, what the fuck? It got me pretty good. And we're like, whatever, let's just go back, clean up, and do what we're gonna do. Well, the next day, that dude, the same guy who I fought, asked me, he's like, hey, I heard you got shot in the neck by a paintball. So I'm like, yeah, man, putting everything together. I still don't know 100%, but I'm sure it was him. And he's like, how did it feel? And again, thinking quick, and I was like, honestly, I didn't give a fuck. We went and cleaned up and had the best night of our lives, dude. It was fucking amazing. He's like, oh, oh, okay. And that's when I knew that I was a juggalo. Because despite these little incidences where he different people try to fuck with me because I was a juggalo, it didn't matter to me. I still kept doing what I had to do. Still kept getting into ICP, still buying CDs and shirts, and didn't let it bother me. Today, years later, he won't look at me. He'll talk to me, but you know, he looks down. He can't look me in the eye because he knows what he did, and I'll forgive him. It's whatever the fuck. He was a young kid. We were both young. He didn't, who gives a fuck? But that's pretty much how I knew that, I was down. I was a juggalo. But as far as like the different things that I watch on YouTube, I like to watch like America's Got Talent. Everybody wants to see the good-looking girl or guy or whatever that has talent. I'm sick of that. I like the scrubs that have talent. The ugly people, the overweight people, the really skinny people, the ugly whoever, the people that you would doubt. I like that shit. Although sometimes I get choked up, when they do good, it's it's a lot better than seeing somebody who looks perfect. We've seen that. We don't need to see that no more. But I also watch old school Attitude Era wrestling on YouTube. I find a lot of new music, rap, rock, metal, death metal. I listen to Beatles, Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath, a whole lot of different shit. I like to watch Japanese pranks. There's this thing called Don't Laugh, Japanese high school, where these 3 or 4 guys go through a day in high school, 24 hours in high school, and they're basically just playing, and they try to make each other laugh, and the people in the school try to make them laugh. And if they do, they get hit with a kendo stick or a stick. For those of you that don't know what a kendo stick is, that shit's funny as fuck. I watch anime. Shin-chan is a funny fucking anime. Little kid talks a lot of shit. Corpse Princess is a good one. Darker Than Black is a good one. Um, Rosario Vampire is a good one. I'm going blank, but anime is good. I like to watch weather, believe it or not, on YouTube. such as like tornadoes and heavy rainfall and like dust storms that cover the sun. I know there's more. Stand up. I love watching stand up on YouTube. Joe Rogan's podcast, fucking Joey Diaz's podcast, Duncan Trussell, uh, Ari Shafir. All their podcasts are great. I like watching scientific shit. The other day I was watching shit on parallel universes. That shit was cool as fuck. Believe it or not, I like watching shit like that. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. That's how I became down. That's some of the shit that I watch. The TV shows that I watch are Breaking Bad or The Walking Dead, which I need to get caught up on the third season. Dexter, I love that shit, and I'm gonna pre-order the entire season, and I'm gonna make sure I get that. Um, I also look up like video games. If I'm thinking about getting a video game, I'll I'll look it up, check it out, look at the walkthroughs, and also if I need help on a game, I'll look at the walkthroughs. Um, I guess that's pretty much it. So thanks to everybody who's responded and will respond. I appreciate it. So, whoop to the whoop.